Well, legendary investor and worldwide adventurer Jim Rogers is buying euros despite that region's debt woes, and he has a pretty interesting take on BP and other equities right now. He joins us now from Birmingham, Alabama, to share his perspective. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
I'm delighted, Poppy. Nice to see you.
Why is the euro so attractive to you right now? I mean, is this a bet that the EU can right its ship when it comes to that currency?
Well, I bought the euro a week or two ago because there was gigantic pessimism around, including me. Everybody was terribly bearish, again, including me. And I realized that whenever that happens, you normally should step in and take the other side of the trade. Normally, I'm not brave enough to do it, but I did this time, and so far, so good. If they sort out their problems, I mean, the Germans say that they're now going to enforce discipline with a tight hand. If they do, and if they make everybody shape up, then the euro could have a nice run for a while.
But haven't you also said that eventually we're going to see the destruction of that currency?
Yeah, I'm very skeptical that it's going to work. I don't expect it to be around in 10 years. But, Poppy, I'm worried about the next 10 days, 10 minutes for that matter. You know, let me get through the next 10 days or 10 weeks, and then we'll discuss 10 years.
All right, so you like the euro in the short term. What about China's move over the weekend saying they're going to float their currency? Of course, this coming right ahead of the G20 meeting. Does that impact your thesis on the euro at all?
No, not really, because all China did was they said that they're just going to continue the process they started in 2005 and continue to open their currency up. I don't see any great reason to be excited. I'm very happy that they are letting it be more flexible, but I don't see any great change, not enough to cause markets or me to react to anything, not yet.
Interesting, U.S. markets did react to it, at least at the open on Monday morning, but do you think, Jim, is China posturing here a little bit before the G8 and G20?
Well, of course they are. Everybody postures before meetings like that. They want to have as little criticism as possible. But, I mean, China is certainly, even though they've been pegged to the dollar in the last 2 years, they have continued to open up. They are letting more and more of their traders and their neighbors trade in the renminbi rather than have to use international currencies. So they're continuing the process. I think they should do it a lot faster. It would be better for the Chinese and for China if they did it faster, but they don't listen to me. They have no reason they should.
What do you think the real implications could be here if China does follow through on its word? I mean, it would mean a softer landing for China's economy, which is booming right now. But in terms of how much benefit the U.S. could get out of this, how big would you say it could be?
Very little, virtually nothing. I mean, what's the U.S. going to sell to China? Not very much. You know, the Japanese yen has gone up 400% over the past few decades. They still have a balance of trade surplus with the United States. No, I mean, that was not a typo, 400%, and they still have a balance of trade surplus. No, it'll help a little bit, but not a lot. It's going to take gigantic changes for there to be a real change in the balance of trade situation.
Well, finally, on the currency point, would you be worried about U.S. Treasuries at this point, given what China has said that they may pull out from being the biggest buyer of our debt?
Poppy, aren't you? Aren't you worried? I mean, I hope the people in Washington are worried. Yes, we're the largest debtor nation in the history of the world, Poppy. Not the largest debtor nation in the world, the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. Of course, everybody should be worried about what's going on with the U.S. government debt. And I'm not buying by any stretch of the imaginations. I'm waiting to sell it short. I have no idea if and when I will. But that's one of the bubbles which is developing in the world. I cannot conceive of lending money to the U.S. government in U.S. dollars for 30 years.
Wow. Well, there it is. Jim Rogers, thank you. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Poppy.